My name is Lindsay Barber, and I am filming this podcast solo. It was originally intended to be with my boyfriend, and as life goes, shit happens. Just me. And I really couldn't find anybody else last minute. I waited last minute to do this project. It's like Friday now, and I work literally like so many, but I have to do it tonight. And I have had such a shitty day. It is the end of my week, and I'll go through a little bit of like my emotions and my feelings today because I feel like it's kind of the perfect opportunity. Because I didn't really think, I don't know why I wanted to do an interview. I guess it wasn't as much talking for me, or I didn't think that I really had that much to offer to being positive, because I'm not somebody that I would consider to be a happy person. It's not a bad thing. I'm just like serious. So I am going to film this video kind of going through the things that I did today that work for me, that I do every day. I feel like one of the things that has kept me so like resilient through everything is kind of the tools that we talked about through the semester, which I thought it was like a little bit uncanny first with like the gratitude list, something that like every sponsor that I've had for the past 5 years has had me do a daily gratitude list. I have multiple group messages with people's gratitude lists. Because I do things like that gratitude list, and just I have tools now to take care of my mental health, that when I do get sad and have really emotional days like I did today and the past, maybe it's like 12 days now, I can bounce back and it's not as bad, or I can like recover and I can recuperate. You know what? I'm just gonna stop there, because that's like the spiral that I start to go on. Like I start listing every single bad thing, and I'm probably gonna clip that out because I feel like that's like a little bit crazy to start this video with, but like that was my day today. Like today, driving to work, 6:00 a.m. in the morning, I'm driving working through my head, and I'm like already going in with all of these like negative, like this bad attitude. And it's like not really like an attitude, like life happens, like living life on life's terms. Like shitty things are gonna happen that are gonna make you feel shitty. The point is in positive psychology, I feel like what we talked about, it's like it's about how you handle them. Like what are you doing to maintain your mental health that will keep you above neutral, or like if you go below neutral, like what will bring you back quicker, what will make it, you won't go as far down, whatever it is. Like resiliency has so many different facets, like positive reasons why it's worth it to do a stupid gratitude list that feels stupid. And I told my sponsor at first, when I was 18 years old making these like 5 years ago, and I was like, these are so stupid. Like I'm grateful for my dog, I'm grateful for my house, I'm grateful for my phone, and like whatever. I just like list a bunch of stuff that I saw around me, and I would just list like the first 5 things. Fast forward 5 years, I learned how to do a proper gratitude list. Gratitude is something I think is so foundational to happiness, because like when I just started listing all of those things that was wrong, and I just started like spiraling, getting myself going, it's like a trap. But the thing is, you can do the same thing for positivity. So if I'm putting all that energy towards my negative thinking, negative thought process and stuff, and I'm not doing anything to like either redirect, challenge those thoughts, I'm basically just like giving up. I'm like letting myself be sad and miserable. But the second that I realized that I do have control, I'm an autonomous person with free will, I can list 5 things that I'm grateful for when I'm upset. And I know it sounds literally like, it sounds crazy that you're really able to like redirect your thinking and your negative thoughts. Like I was literally a mess. Like I was trying to do this outro like over the past few hours, like I kept on like clip after clip, and I'm literally crying like makeup down my face until whatever, because shitty day, life on life's term, work was shitty, boyfriend shitty, does that mean life shitty? No, that means circumstances suck, they're out of my control, I'm powerless over them, relinquish power, turn it over, and be grateful for the things that I do have instead of the things I don't have. When you always focus on the things that you don't have, you're always going to be miserable. It's this constant state of comparison to other people, like, oh, this person has more than me, or, you know, today at work, for example, this person gets more tables than me, this person, the manager, likes them more, this person's making more money than me, oh, people, the tables like them more, oh, it's because they're prettier than me. And it's like this constant comparison in the most harmful way. And the thing is, same thing, to like challenge and redirect those thoughts and be like, okay, which part of this is fact and what part of this is fiction? How much truth is really in this? And I really did like when we talked a lot about that in class, because, you know, we do our own way of, you know, inherent bias and stuff. We look through things through a scope of our past trauma, you know, or not even trauma, just our past life experiences, and be like, well, maybe there is a reason, you know, why when this one manager talks to me and says this one thing to me, I have a past experience that makes me think that it means this thing, but in reality, I don't know her, I don't know what her intention was, and I shouldn't, you know, be putting words behind the intention of her actions when I don't. Go through now a more kind of like cohesive list I have together, so I'm not so much like rambling, but like concrete things that you can do so that when you have a bad day or when something really terrible happens, you have like a little safety cushion. You have something, you know, that's gonna lessen that blow. I know I give the example of like a gratitude list, but like another, the number one best thing is to call somebody else and just talk about them, just ask about them. Literally, do not, obviously, yeah, I'm good, how are you? And then ask them questions, keep the conversations on them. And at first it feels so awkward. Well, first of all, calling people on the phone can be awkward depending on, like, I guess, I don't know, my little sisters. So, like, when I call them on the phone, I guess it's like a generational thing. I don't know. But, like, call somebody on the phone, like, hear their voice, get their vocal cues, like, really engage them in the conversation. Call them, talk about them, and, like, a grandparent even. And just get outside of yourself, and ultimately by the end of that conversation, I always feel differently than when I picked up that phone. And it's always for the better. I always feel better, even it's because I'm, you know, oh, I'm worried that this person has this going on, or I'm happy that this person has this going on, or whatever it is. It's just like when you're so wrapped up in yourself, and you're only prioritizing yourself, and you're viewing the lens through that like egocentric worldview, you're gonna be irritable, like miserable, discontent, just everything. Like, just care about other people. Other people matter. Putting others first. Oh my gosh. Giving back and being grateful for the things that you do have instead of the things that you don't. So the second part of this video is gonna be just like a really quick summary, summarizing some of the points that I talked about in the first part of this video through the lens of positive psychology. So the first thing that I really went over again was gratitude, and gave the example of keeping a gratitude journal or texting people gratitude lists. Is like a really simple way to focus on positive thinking, focusing on positive thoughts and emotions. That in itself is a whole principle of positive psychology, is to practice on focusing on positive thoughts and emotion rather than dwelling on negative ones, which is a practice, and it takes like a lot of conscious work and effort at, and like it's never really going to be something that's, you know, perfect all of the time, but it's something to minimize the negative thoughts that already would be occurring. One way to practice positive self-thinking is to reframe negative thoughts into positive ones. For example, saying that I can't do this and reframing it to say that I can do this and I will try my best. And this simple shift in thinking will make a big difference in overall happiness and well-being. And then the final principle, the third one, mindfulness. mindfulness is a practice of being present in the moment, really like being like the power of now. Or wait, what is that? No, that's like a bad documentary thing. But like living in like the now, not you know, living so far in the future and anxiety, and like living so far in the past. Like this one quote's told to me like a lot, like if you have one foot in yesterday and one foot in tomorrow, like you're peeing all over today. I don't know. It's like a stupid analogy, but like it really stuck with me because I was like, yeah, like I'm literally I'm like pissing on my day because it's like I'm not present. I'm either an anxious mess or I'm like so caught up and stuck in the past. I'm like depressed and don't want to do anything. And like just having active conversations with people and just like grounding yourself. You know, there's simple grounding tools and exercises you can use. Like I think in class we went over like the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, you know, and like things like that keeps you present. Like that brings you back in the moment. If you're having, you know, negative thoughts, negative feelings, you know, you're having some sort of, you know, emotion dysregulation that you want to redirect. It's a good diversion tactic. And then the final one being resilience and the ability to bounce back from negative situations, like living how far below south of neutral you go once something bad happens, and how quickly you can recover from that negative life event, you know, whatever it is. By bettering resilience, we can better cope with stress and adversity, increase overall happiness and well-being. And yeah, so just in summary, like using all of these tools together, like you can something else told to me was that you can restart your day at any time. Like just because I had a really bad day and I couldn't do this project the way that I wanted to and work didn't go well and whatever else is going on, like just because all of those things happen doesn't mean that my day was ruined, that my life is bad, that everything sucks. It just means that like I have the opportunity to like learn something. Like it's whenever I'm being tested, like I am at work, I'm like, okay, this is the opportunity to learn a lesson. Like I can work on the resentments that I have with my manager to like become a better person, and like it just gives me a different way of reframing things, to being like looking at the silver lining. What can I get out of this situation so that, or not even what can I get out of it, but like how can I let this situation like not negatively impact me? What can I do to make this positive? I am word vomiting and